Okay, hi. This is my dad. Today is in the sermon. Today's April 13th, and it's yesterday was my dad's birthday. He's 86. So, Dad, share us a memory from when you're in Hong Kong. Tell us something that you remember.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, we were in Hong Kong. I was born in Hong Kong. No, I was born in Canton, and I went to Hong Kong 1949 when the communists took over the mainland China. Gong Gong at that time, with his family, or 10 of us, was 1949, August, during August. Anyway, and then we landed in it's called Lin Yan. It's a house. Lin means forest garden. Forest garden. 他那个主人姓林啊，林太太 is a Buddhist. Anyway, we have two little rooms and a living room and a little hallway and kitchen for 10 of us. So it's very crowded. And Gong Gong at that time is very hard, of course. If you have 10 people on your shoulder, you have to feed them, you have to clothe them, and you're the refugee. So we have some hardship. But the first couple of years, for example, I had to make match boxes, 5,000, 6,000. So 那个30跟我是 at that time I was 11 years old. But then we went to go and pick up these leftover vegetables, dry fish, and we had to go and cut the woods anyway. And Gong Gong every day he 婆婆要他去香港去找一个工作。But at that time, just imagine, Hong Kong, just before then, was only about 1 million people, and then suddenly there's 2 million people come in, so everybody lost a job. And you walk along the street, there'll be, here's a general who, general what, it's just a bunch of big heads, big guys, the famous guys, rich guys. Suddenly
After World War II.
No, after the Civil War.
1949
after
World
war,
War II.
the Second World War ended in 1945.
Yeah.
And at that time, during the Second World War, we were in Wufa, Shanxia. You see.
Yeah.
When the Japanese started bombing Canton, then we went back to Shanxia. And when Japanese surrendered, then we went back 1947. I went back to Canton. And I was in Canton for 2 years, and then the communists came, and then we went to Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, I was in Hong Kong for 10 years, and then we came to America in 1959.
And you had a scholarship or something to go to?
In Hong Kong?
No, to go to.
In Hong Kong, we don't have a scholarship, but
to come
to America, we have a very special scholarship sponsored by the United Nations. And that the United Nations gave 4 scholarships, 2 from Yale, 2 from Princeton, to those Hong Kong students that are refugees. Wow. And there are 8,000 people, competing for those 4 positions. And I was one of it to get it. That's a very good scholarship. They not just everything tuition free and the room and board free. For example, the spring vacation or the summertime, every day, every meal they will give you $350. $350 at that time is more like maybe $50 or $100. So the first year when I was at Yale, I spent only $10 for a whole year. And the rest of all the money I got, I sent it to Gong Gong Po because At that time, Gong's is a principal in the 移民学校, but still, Gong's salary was $710 Hong Kong dollars. It's just like $100 American dollars.
A year.
And for
A year, right?
yeah, for what I save, I send it to Gong, which is more than Gong's salary. So during the time, I helped Gong quite a bit. That's how the Bobo Sanshushu can come to America, is because I was sort of, sort of Fan-Keung, the first one that they come to find a role, because for example, the Sanshushu, the scholarship, Dean Thompson told me, he said, Frank, he said, if it's not for you, your brother is not even qualified to be accepted by Yale. But because of you, we gave him a scholarship. And I thank God that Bobo Shushu at the end is more successful than I am. And in the sense that they have more money than I have. But I never regretted God give me, my path of my life. Even I was baptized in Cheung Baptist Church, and I started teaching the Sunday school. Even when I was 12 years old, 13 years old, teaching those kids. And then we were in the St. Cheung, and it is a church choir. And then I was, they during Christmas time, they would have Christmas drama, Christmas show play, and I'm always always the main character of it.
Yeah.
That's why I was sort of grew up in church. And I was accepted by Taiwan University in the medical session. Is the most difficult entity. the 宝宝三学术三学术没有宝宝的分标的 go to Taiwan University, and at that time 1957, because Yang Zhenin and Li Zhendao got the Nobel Prize winner, few of us that have good 有些 Hong Kong 有会考 means that whole Hong Kong by the in June, all the middle school, all the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, they all go and be examined, and you can take so many courses, and then according to your to your grade, then they distribute you to what higher school. And I was I went to Tibet and then went to Hong Kong U. I was in Hong Kong U 1 year. So when I went to Yale, even though I was a freshman, but actually my level was already sophomore, even junior. I still remember the second year when I was there, I started already taking graduate courses in Yale. And then the first time when I have exam, and the professor come in and say, well, you guys didn't do very well. All of you failed except one, and who was undergrad. And I was the only one that passed, So in Yale, I was 8,000 people. I was the eighth, according to grade, the eight in the 8,000. And 他毕业嘛，他就是 summa cum laude, means the top of the student. And then I went to Caltech, But then that is when I find out, boy, I was
But in university you did physics, right? You studied physics and
I studied physics, yeah. And so I got a BS in bachelor degree at Yale, in 1962. Even though my class is 1963, but I graduated 1 year early. So I was in Yale 3 years instead of 4 years because I was in Hong Kong U already 1 year, you see. So that's how I came to America. I met Mama
at Yale.
at Yale. She was a second year graduate student. And before she get her PhD there, I already graduated. Then I went to Caltech, and then I went to Maryland University just for 1 year. And then my advisor went to Stony Brook. I followed him, so I got I got my PhD in 3 years. Yeah. And you were born in 1968. I got my degree in 1965. Mama got, we got a PhD in 1965. And then I was doing research at Stony Brook University. Mommy was also there, but even though she was already teaching at St. John, but she spent most of the time at Stony Brook in the same office. She had the dashes, everything except the salary. At that time, the research associate salary is just $150, $140 a month. So a year is about $12. And then 3 years later, in fact, we were living in near Port Jefferson. And we both, Mommy and I, were research associate at Stony Brook. And that is when you were born, 1968.
What were you researching, or what did
68.
What did you
And
study?
near Port, we were living in Port Jefferson, the Sheldrick Road called. And you were born in Syosset, exit 43, the hospital there.
What were you doing in Stony Brook? What kind
At
of
Stony
research?
Brook, we do research.
What kind of research?
At that time, Yang
High energy
Zhenin
physics?
has set up a new called Institute of Theoretical Physics. So every day, the biggest of named physicists from all over the world, have all kinds of seminar, and we just seminar after seminar, and listen, participate, and then you just do your own thing. You do your own research. I publish maybe 4 or 5 articles, research results in the most popular physics journal.
Yeah.
It's called Physics Letter, Physics nowadays, and then Mama's already in Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. She left Stony Brook 1 year earlier than I am, and then I went to Caltech, and then came back to Notre Dame. No, when I started teaching Notre Dame, at that time, you were 3 years old, and Mommy was still teaching at St. John. So between Stony Brook and St. John is about 800, 900 miles. And I can only see Mommy once a month, drive. So at the time, I still remember on the highway, I would not let anyone to be faster than I was. And I find out only a couple of those army men, those military men, they had a vehicle, and it's the at that time, wow, you can drive 75, 80 miles an hour on the highway. So in any way, from the Notre Dame, South Bend, Indiana, to St. John, New York, where Mama was teaching. And then 1 year later, she went to Pittsburgh, so that was closer, much closer. The, and then Mama decided to give up church, and then we were settled down in South Bend, and then I ended up with having more than 60 of those rundown houses.
Yeah.
Become a landlord, because at that time, Mama thought to be a professor is you get almost a minimum wage treatment. At that time, it's still maybe your yearly salary is between $15,000 to $17,000 a year. And Mama is not satisfied with that. She set up some companies, want to get the scrap run into scrap metal, and I let a few the few workers with me, because when I'm running those apartments, I always have 6, 7 the handyman with me day and night, running around. And then we went to place to place. Mama went to go and bid those, at that time, just during the period where all they call exchange of, for example, where 718, that area code has an exchange station. In that station, it's called, whenever you dial 718, it goes to that station, and then the rest of the 7 figures, it come from this, and those are called relay boxes. At that time, it's not computer, just trying to change the computer. So a lot of those stations, they have those the exchange office have a lot of those we call the the long gear, or what has precious metal tips on it, and Mamas go and bid them, and get the if you get the bid, you the highest bid, then you get them. And I was the carry 3, 4, 5, 6 the helpers with me, and then we go and dismantle them, and then we load them in the containers and send it to Taiwan. And that is perhaps the biggest business Mommy and I did. That was when I went to Hong Kong and went to Taiwan. Try to because when you get at that time, when you get money from Taiwan, you cannot directly send it to America.
Yeah.
You have to go through a route, and then either go to Hong Kong and things. And that is during 1980s, and in and then I get more and more involved in real estate. Then we gave up everything, just manage the properties. And then we were in South Bend, Indiana, until Gong Gong Popo come in 1975, 76, and Gong Gong Popo stayed with us for 3 years. That was when Sherman was
Right.
on Sherman Street, and then in Parish Court, and Handsome Court, and Parish Court, and then we were for 2 years. We start buying those 5 houses in Flushing, and then we back and forth, and for about 3 years we back and forth. We live in and then every house I bought, I would carry a bunch of the helpers go and fix the basement, fix this, fix that, and about 1985, 86, we start moving to New York. And we landed. We stay in on Ash Avenue 143-02 for for 8 years. For 8 years.
8 years.
And then at the time we have sort of a we call revival a prayer group in one of the houses. There's 3 houses in a row. In the middle houses is a big big living room, just like a small church. And also the living room every week we have meetings and all that. And that's how I get involved in church. And then I became a minister.
Yeah.
I went to
School.
I went to anyway it's a
Ministry school.
yeah, it's sort of a seminary, but it's a very freestyle seminary on what is 57th Street downtown, and I got all the credits, I got all the diplomas, all the thing, and then I was landed on Jiaoxing.
When was that? When did you start?
That was
teaching?
1991. Because at that time when we were in 02, we have a group, and then we set up a church. It's called but then those people they some of them want to be elder, want to be what, and surely they go to the different ways. But then there's 3 pastors that were there that we set up those revival or prayer group, and then one of the Li Mu是 John Lee, Pastor Lee, 就托米到那个的路德会 Lutheran Church, become a Lutheran.
So the first church, you were 54, right, when you started that?
First church is that's 54, no, 85. That was on
Yeah, but you said 1990. Your age was 54, right? You were born in 1930.
I was born in 1938.
1938.
I was in, and then
Oh, so
in
50,
Cheung
52, you're
at
52.
12 years old,
Yeah.
I was already in the Cheung Baptist Church.
Yeah.
But how we get in the church is because of Bobo.
Mm.
Because the first year we landed in Hong Kong, and while we are all doing the matchboxes, Gong Gong say, no, I have to let my oldest son, try to get on the higher ground, so he doesn't have to do any matchboxes. He was sit at little tables in front of the house, and then he would read the Robinson Crusoe, those all those English things, and then there's two old lady from the church, from the Cheung has a 个神教学院, and persuaded and get Bobo became Christian. Not you, Bobo was only 13 years old, 14 years old then, and then he has a level of maybe high school level, just high school, middle high school level, and then he went to that 神学院 seminary. They let him to go seminary.
Oh.
And it was because of Bobo seminary, they were supported by the American church, and Americans sent all those clothes, all those knife and everything. So even though Bobo did not make any matches, did not make any money, but when he went to the church, went to the seminary, he actually supplying a lot of clothing and food to the family. While Gong Gong, take Gong Gong about 3 years before, 他在寿山中学有过the part-time job, and then the full-time job, and then he become a principal. Then the family settled down and become you have a steady living. You can support yourself. But before then, Gong Gong was ghostwriter. Chen Shuhuan. Mr. Chen was at one time in mainland China. His father is Liang Guangzhongdu, means he was Canton, the Guangdong, Guangxi, the governor, and his son is has many fishing boats, has banks, and he hired Gong Gong as a ghostwriter to write books for him in his name. You see.
Yeah.
And that is when Gong Gong was only doing part-time teaching in Soushan Zhongxue. This is a middle at the middle school up in Victoria Hill there. And he was at night writing books, and until 那个金先生也是，对，金先生是我们就是常州官校的一个主任，他 help us a lot, is a very good friends of Gong Gong. They play mahjong, and then when Gong Gong was principal of that 渔民学校, the little grade school for fishermen, the fishermen's the children, because it's not supported by government, it's poor. In Hong Kong, the government school is the best school. It's the most well equipped, as all the teachers as well salary and they're high, just 金文泰But châu州公共那个学校嘛是 private school, is a very poor school, and it was Jin 先生 help him together get the government help become 金铁学校 become government supported school, and that is when there's about I was in Jinwentai, so maybe 1954, 55, about 4-5 years after we came to Hong Kong, and it's another 5 years. So at that time, it's a very and as far as I'm concerned, when I graduated from the high school, and the last 2 years when I was in Hong Kong, I was doing 补习. I tried to teach those people, a couple grade below me, or those English school. They're weak in science, in math. I would go and teach them, and then they would each time they would give me $2 for 2 hours or whatever. And then every time I got my salary, the first thing I do is I go to 中央市场 to买羊肉给婆婆. So actually I started helping Gong Gong when I was in last year high school, and the middle another year, and then 1 year in Hong Kong U. Those 3 years I started helping helping Gong Gong and Po, you see, because you figure in Hong Kong with just one grade school, anyway, Po, the monthly salary was $100 American at that time. You have to pay the rent, you pay all the food, all the clothing, is just very subsidized. That's why we had to, go and cut your own wood and then pick up dry fishes. But then it turned out to be, at the end, 之后我去香港, that's only happened about 2-3 years like that. After that, Gong Gong settled down, we can, we don't have to do anything. Except Po, they still have, 那个时候是串猪仔, still do this, do this handwork for another 2 or 3 years. Otherwise, that's how I come to America, and then how I became involved in. So it's Gong Gong give me my name, Fan-Keung, means 我要发愤图强. I had to try to work hard and try to be strong, try to get ahead. But at the time, then when I went to start serving the Lord, become a minister, and then I changed my name to Zhang Yue Dao, means Zhang, you delight in the Lord's way. It's called Zhang Yue Dao. And now people around me call me 张博士、张弟兄、张传道、张牧师, all kinds of names.
Yeah.
But usually they start with
Like the Maestro Cheung and
it's just start with the 张博士. I went start volunteering in the Chinese Christian Herald Crusade in 1990, and then I become a paid, At that time, actually, my rental business is can well support the family. I do not need any. Maybe that's why I have the freedom to become a minister and serve, and involved in the churches. It's because actually, when I went when I receiving salary from Chinese Christian Herald Crusade, I told the Lamus, actually, I say the salary you gave me is not even enough for me for the gasoline to pay my car,
Yeah.
So actually, I was not. But anyway, that's how God led me to this state. Now at this moment, I am free. I'm retired. I'm totally I try every day when I get up in the morning. I thank God. I praise God that He has given me another day, another step to walk the way that He has set me to in my life. Because I when I look back, I find out every step of the way is not my control. What I want to be or what I trying to make determined to go that way. At the end, it's not that way. But thank God, the way that He has given me. At the end, when I look back, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't feel inferior to the most successful brothers or relatives, and even in financial situation, I am not far behind trying to post for trying to popo. So in that sense, I thank God very much that God gave me the friend. Now I have to respond to Him that giving me all the grace, the kindness, or that mercy, or the protection, or that and I find out that at this stage, no matter what is my physical condition, I feel that maybe He still want me to do something. For example, last time we went to we usually a church invite us. They would sing, our fellowship would sing the couple of 2, 3, the praising song, and then I was preach maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour last time, and say last time. The pastor invited us. Is after we finish, and they say, "Oh, God is still going to use you because you are this and that, this and that." So I thank God that my participation and my serving of the Lord is still has some signs of not just some signs of life that I can go on. Is that, for example, as so many books you see now, it's very hard for me. But then I keep on asking it. Now the question I asked in the past 2 years is, I want to know, to really understand Jesus Christ personally more. How am I going to, the, what's the particular about Jesus? What has he done? Or, not just what you heard or what you write, what you hear in church day and night, and just become, you hear so much, you say so much, you actually, it's not in your blood,
Yeah.
It's not really in your spirit. And now a lot of books I read, well, I first ask questions. I want to know, Jesus, what is faith? Actually, what Jesus did, and what is special about Jesus? What is everything I read, and I first ask these questions, and then I find out I go to look, and then he led me to a book that's precisely what I want to find, and then find out a lot of books I already underlined it. I read it before, except I didn't, it has no effect on me until now when I reread it and he answered my question, to answer my feelings and my yearning or my hope, and I find out I put everything together. So now my sin, he awakened my soul, just awakened. When I read it, I am really into it. I get the spirit of it, get the life of it. So even though I live an ordinary life in the Khmer, didn't have any big successes, no big businessman, no, not a big pastor, not big, but I did not regret that. I can only say I thank God, I praise Lord that He has led me all these years, and go through all this. In fact, I feel more fortunate, in fact, compared, for example, to my brothers, that my life is, in a sense, when you look at the outside, is so, so not so straightforward. It changes so many, many twists and turns, many, but then it seems to be, it's been led by something, by a higher ground, by a higher Lord, that when you look back, you don't feel, for example, every year we went to, I wrote all those songs, I wrote those, poems, and 3说，他是张家的诗圣。I'm the one that, in the spiritual level, I have something to share, something to give, something to, not just within the family, but within the fellowship, even in Jiaoxing or all those pastors, because at one time there's a the biggest Chinese evangelist from Indonesia, um, in the year 2000. He has 5 days in Madison Square Garden. Each day is two, evangelical the events, and that is the first time any Chinese evangelical events being held in Madison Square Garden, and I was the 执行干事. I was the not the chief executive, the working executive. I had to form 300 prayer group. I had to form so many receivers, this and that. And I have to contact over 130 Chinese churches and all the ministry organizations to have that event happen. So in that experience, in that sense, because of the event, I almost personally know almost all the pastors, Chinese pastors, in metropolitan area, even though even upstate and things. Another event that I is for about 3 years. Is at that time the leader actually was Wang Yongxin. Wang Yongxin was from California. He was the main master of ambassador in church in Christ, 就是大使命大使者. He rise up and try to organize all the Chinese churches to be against the 同性恋是什么？
Gay marriage.
Gay marriage. Yeah. We have an organization against gay marriage. As all the from Boston down Florida, we have over 10,000 people walk on the Washington Square Garden, Washington Square, and every day we have all those plays where those for about 3 years, and I was in the New York metropolitan area again, the executor, the organizer, trying to connect them, trying to call people and try to set up the schedule and try to do this and that. So in that sense, I was very familiar with all the pastors, all the churches, and also I was somewhat, well, no, not because of Moses, because I handled them, So a lot of church friends or young and old knew me and called me Cheung boss. And nowadays, now I do not, I have all the free time. I'm just me with the God, me between him, the relationship. And I just want to know more and more about God.
If you're fighting against gay marriage, then how come you weren't fighting for
Okay.
stopping?
So
For what?
thank you for happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you. So
Stop
good.
the
Today
video
is a good day.
Should have stopped the video a minute, 5
Not
minutes.
fighting